Good afternoon and welcome to the news on TV1. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Shehan Ranatunga. Now first up, let's take a look at your headlines.
Chairman of the Election Commission rejects resignation rumours. President to chair an all-party conference today. GMOA files complaint with WHO regarding the medicine shortage. Lanka and two others acquitted and released over SEC misappropriation case. Youth who was fishing in Diawannava missing.
Sri Lanka's election headquarters.
Now on to your top story. The chairman of the Elections Commission, Attorney Nimal Punchiheva, has refuted rumours being spread that he is planning on submitting his resignation from the Election Commission. He said that paying any heed to these rumours is a waste of time. The attorney said that all preparations are being made to hold the local government elections. He added that the resignation of one member of the commission does not affect the commission's ability to hold the election. The chairman of the commission was responding to media reports regarding the resignation of the member of the Elections Commission, PSM Charles. He said that he has not yet been officially informed of her resignation. Attorney Punchiheva said that the resignation of one member of the commission does not affect the quorum required for the commission to convene.
Meanwhile, convening a media briefing in Colombo today, Pafrel stressed that the resignation of one member of the Election Commission does not affect the ability of the Commission to hold the election.
මේක හරියට නිකන් ස්කෝලේ යන කාලෙක ගෑනු ළමෙක් පිරිමි ළමෙක් යාළු වෙලා ඉඳලා පුංචි දෙයකට තරහ වෙලා අයින් වෙනවා වගේ වැඩක්.
This is something like a school-going couple getting angry with each other for a small fight that they had. The Election Commission is one of the main commissions in the country. A member of such a commission does not have the ability to resign from the commission at a time when an election has been announced. This is a very responsible act. But the Constitution clearly states that just because one or two members resign, it will not affect the Commission's ability to hold the election. We believe that the Constitutional Council will not touch the members of the Election Commission during this time. That could lead to further uncertainty within the country. But in some way, if new members are appointed to the Election Commission, it will not affect the election in any way, because nominations have already been accepted and a date for the election has also been announced.
Views regarding the local government election were expressed in the political arena.
6.9 million people voted for Gotabaya Rajapaksa with much expectation. They expected him to give fertilizer for free, give free hampers, create one country and one law, and to nab thieves. How did he govern? Was it good? He ruined the country and then fled. Throughout the past 75 years, the rulers did not do their duty properly. When one administration fails, the other is appointed. And when that fails, the previous one is reappointed. The people are fed up now. We have introduced a new administration. A new path has been paved, and there is a set of good representatives who are well educated. Allow us to take up this responsibility. Then we can show you what we can do. If not, how can we show you?
It
was the SJB that kept pushing for elections. Other parties are afraid of the election. Parties that have a voter base of 3 to 4% also did not push for an election. The government is afraid. That is why they tried to postpone the election by using the delimitation issue, by saying that youth representation has to be included, and now saying that they need money. They are scared of the election. The budget is 7,000 billion, but the election costs only 10 billion. Recently, 3 billion was given by the Foreign Employment Bureau. The election can be held. The people are demanding a change. They are asking for an administration that is free of corruption and that can develop the country.
We
don't believe that the policies of the parties that are registered for the election can solve the problems of the people. We will make this an opportunity to start a movement from the ground level to show the people the true alternative. Groups that were a part of many political parties during the Aragalaya are joining hands with us. But we don't plan on utilizing those agreements to get votes. We are planning on embarking on a longer journey with these groups. We know that our country is facing an economic crisis right now. At times like this, we need to unite as one country. Some political parties want the country to slide deeper into crisis, create issues and conflicts, and waste the money that we have. We honestly believe that if 5 billion from the 10 billion that was allocated for this election was used to provide an uninterrupted supply of power to students during the advanced level examination, that would have been a better use of the money than holding the election. An election must be held. We are a party standing for the election, but we need to look at this taking into consideration the issues that the country is facing right now. They know very well that they are going to lose this local government election. Everyone knows what is going to happen to the Pohot tour of Mahinda Rajapaksa. I believe that they will not be able to win any local government body in the country. Since they are sure to lose, they want to postpone this election so that they can continue to be in power. No matter how much they try, they have lost many opportunities that they had to postpone the local government election.
Meanwhile, speaking at an event in Kurunegala yesterday, leader of the National People's Power, Andrakumar Dissanayake, expressed views regarding the state of Sri Lanka's economy.
According to the 2023 budget, Sri Lanka has to pay a debt of 4.2 trillion rupees, including the interest payments. Last year, the total income of the government was 2 trillion rupees. In 2022, the Treasury received a sum of 2 trillion rupees. In 2023, credit and interest expenses accumulated to 4.2 trillion rupees, which means we spent double our income on credit and interest payments. What does this mean? The government does not have any rupees. Secondly, the country does not have dollars. According to 2021 data, our export income was $12.5 billion and our import expenditure was $20.6 billion. There is a deficit of $8.1 billion. Annually, we have to pay off foreign debt worth $6.7 billion. How will these problems end? The government is left without rupees. The country does not have dollars. The country has been pushed to the worst possible situation economically. Last April, we declared bankruptcy. We are now officially a bankrupt country. Now people have some fuel, gas and milk powder. But that's not because we have earned any dollars. It is because we have not been paying our debt. From the 12th of April to the 30th of September last year, we have foregone a debt payment of $3.2 billion. Lotus towers and highways are irrelevant because our foundation is not strong.
State Minister of Investment Promotion Dilum Amnugama expressed the following views regarding the new tax policy in Kandy yesterday.
3,000 rupees will be charged from the 100,000 rupees of income. A considerable amount of tax will be imposed from 200,000 rupees. The difference was both low and high income earners had the same tax amount to pay. That is why the government is facing this situation. I am the minister who is most inconvenienced. We have entered into agreements with investors promising 15%, but today that has doubled to 30%. As a government, we have violated these agreements. The investors are lamenting the new taxes, but they understand the math behind it.
In other news, an all-party conference will be held at 4 p.m. today under the chairmanship of President Ranil Wickremesinghe.
Speaker of Parliament Mahinda Abeyewardena, Opposition leaders Sajith Premadasa, former Presidents Mahinda Rajapaksa and Maithripala Sirisena, Tamil National Alliance leader R. Sambandhan, National People's Power leader Andrakumar Dissanayake and other party leaders have been invited to join the conference. According to a PMD statement, the purpose of this conference is to come to a consensus to strengthen national harmony.
Now, in other news, the Government Medical Officers Association says a complaint has been filed with the WHO office in Sri Lanka regarding the medicine shortage in the country. The complaint was made as part of the Black Week protests.
In the letter, we requested the World Health Organization to take steps regarding Sri Lanka's medicine shortage and the effect it has on patients. Sri Lanka is a member country of the WHO. We informed them of the medicine shortage in both private and public hospitals, the increase in medicine prices and corruption involving agreements to purchase medicines. We can see these issues being avoided. The country is heading to a point where they won't even announce when this shortage will end. As the GMOA, we know that we can't solve this issue by speaking about it at home. Therefore, we decided to bring it to the attention of the WHO.
බැහැයි කියලා තේරිච්ච ඉඳ තමයි අපේ විධායක සභාව සහ මධ්‍යම කාරක සභාව තීරණය කළේ මේ ප්‍රශ්නේ ලෝක සෞඛ්‍ය සංවිධානය ඉදිරියට ඉදිරිපත් කළ යුතුයි කියලා.
Now, one person has gone missing after a boat toppled in the Diyavanna Oya near Parliament.
Police media spokesperson SSP Nihal Taldua said 4 people were on board the boat at the time of the accident. 3 people were able to get to safety. He added 4 people residing in Rajagiriya had been fishing in the Diyavanna Oya this morning.
Now, villagers in Uva Parnagama have been facing hardships owing to a road that remains in a state of disrepair. They highlight that although the problem was informed to the very politicians that they voted for, none have visited the village since.
This is the road leading up to Veralavatta from the community hall in Balagala, Uva Parnagama. According to the area residents, the road has been dilapidated as renovation activities have not been carried out. Close to 250 families travel on this road on a daily basis. Agriculture is the livelihood for many of them.
The crisis faced by the farming community still continues. They have been battling the crisis on several fronts. This is Kalladiya in Puttlam. These paddy fields have been affected by the yellowing of crops. Farmers say as a result of this disease, they haven't been able to reap a proper harvest. Paddy fields in Uhana Ampara spread across at least 260 acres. Farmers in this area use rainwater for their cultivations. As of now, the farmers are preparing to reap their harvest. They say fields are being destroyed owing to a lack of rainfall. Another group of farmers have been severely inconvenienced as there is no proper price imposing mechanism to sell their produce.
News First with the people.
Now in other news, the results of the Grade 5 Scholarship Examination 2022 were released online last night. The examination results can be viewed via the official website of the Examinations Department. That's www.doenets.lk. That's www.doenets.lk.
The Examinations Department has also released the district-level cut-off marks of the Grade 5 Scholarship Examination 2022. Accordingly, the cut-off mark for Sinhala medium students in the Colombo, Gampaha, Kalutara, Kandy, Matale, Gaul, Matara and K-Gaul districts is 153. The cut-off marks for the Hambantota and Ratnapura districts is 150. The cut-off mark in the Anuradhapura, Polonnaruwa, Badulla, Monaragala, Ampara and Puttlam districts is 148. The cut-off mark for Sinhala medium students in Nuwara and Trincomalee districts are 147 and 145 respectively. More details on the cut-off marks for the Grade 5 Scholarship Examinations, which were held on the 18th of December 2022, can be accessed on our website www.newsfirst.lk. The Ceylon Electricity Board says the final decision on whether or not power cuts will be imposed during the period of the GCE Advanced Level Examination will be announced today. The chairman of the PUCSL and secretary to the Ministry of Power and Energy appeared before the Human Rights Commission of Sri Lanka yesterday and agreed to ensure a continuous supply of electricity subject to conditions. Although the announcement was made by the HRCSL, the supply of electricity was disrupted in many areas last night.
The Colombo High Court today acquitted and released Sri Lanka Podujana Perumuna MP Nalaka Godaheva and 2 others for misappropriating state funds.
Nalaka Godaheva was acquitted from the case filed against him for misappropriating state funds worth 5 million rupees belonging to the Securities and Exchange Commission during his tenure as the Commission's chairman to the Tarunayata Hetak organisation. Colombo High Court Judge Amal Ranaraja ordered to acquit and release the three accused from the case on the grounds that the evidence submitted was not sufficient to prove them guilty.
India celebrates its 74th Republic Day today. The ceremonial boulevard of the national capital, the newly christened Kartavya Path, plays host to the 74th Republic Day.
On Republic Day, India marks and celebrates the date on which the Constitution of India came into effect on the 26th of January 1950 after the country achieved independence from the British on the 15th of August 1947 following the Indian independence movement. Indian Army, Indian Navy and Indian Air Force along with other security forces will present a spectacular show in front of the nation. Egypt's President Abdul Fattah al-Sisi will attend as chief guest at the ceremonial event. Last year's Republic Day celebrations were restricted owing to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Now, the decision to deliver the M1 Abrams tanks was announced just hours after Germany said it would send 14 of its Leopard 2 tanks to the Ukraine battlefield.
Berlin also cleared the way for other European countries to send German-made tanks from their own stocks. Ukraine has lobbied Western...
At the Gideon, at the Radiant, Cyber Avakashe Kalabana, Wat Salakuna. Newsfirst YouTube channel adama subscribe karanna. Newsfirst Janathawa samaga.
Newsfirst News Alert ඔබේ ජංගම දුරකථනයටත් ඔබ ඩයිලොග් පාරිභෝගිකයෙක් නම් English Alert සේවාව ලබා ගැනීමට NFU ලෙසත් Singlish Alert සේවාව ලබා ගැනීමට NUS ලෙසත් Tanglish Alert සේවාව ලබා ගැනීමට
Donald Trump will be allowed back onto Facebook and Instagram after Meta announced it would be ending its 2-year suspension of his accounts.
The social media giant said the suspension will end in the coming weeks. In a statement, Nick Clegg, Meta's president of global affairs, said the public should be able to hear what their politicians are saying. The then US president was indefinitely suspended from Facebook and Instagram after the Capitol riot in 2021. Clegg said the firm had taken action following Trump's praise for people engaged in violence at the Capitol. He added, and I quote, "The suspension was an extraordinary decision taken in extraordinary circumstances," unquote. He said a review found that Trump's account no longer represented a serious risk to public safety. But because of Trump's past violations, he would now face heightened penalties for repeat offenses.
Now, officials have warned that Iranian and Russian hackers are targeting British politicians and journalists with espionage attacks.
The National Cybersecurity Centre has issued a fresh alert about increasing attempts to steal information from specific groups and individuals. NCSC said the hackers usually target those doing research and work about Iran and Russia. It described the hacking groups as ruthless in pursuing their targets. The NCSC, which is part of UK's cyber and intelligence agency GCHQ and gives cybersecurity advice, explained the attacks were not targeting the public but specific individuals and groups including politicians, officials, journalists, activists and think tanks. The hackers will often impersonate real contacts to build trust and send fake invites to events or Zoom meetings containing malicious code. If clicked on, they can compromise accounts, allowing the hackers to gain access to sensitive information.
And that brings to a close the news for now. Thank you for watching.